Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Charles, the GED graduate, back at it again. Uh, Taking a quick break from my daily routine, supervising got this another construction project we got going on. But today, um, we're going to talk about government and voting. More in particular, the main topic is going to be civics. And because I'm a GED graduate and I had to learn civics, I had to study it. I didn't get taught it, I had to study it myself. Civics covers government and voting. So this is what's lacking in our country from the present voters. They never took civics because most of them were just passed through high school because we had the No Child Left Behind, and then we had the other program that Obama had, Let No Child Not Succeed, or something like that. Basically, it was the same thing as No Child Left Behind by Bush too. And Obama just followed up and basically within the last 25, 30 years, our kids have been graduating without learning nothing about civics, nothing about home economics, but that's another subject. So, but we're going to concentrate on civics today. So, we know we got a president in office named Donald J. Trump, one of the greatest presidents ever, by the way, and we'll get into that too. But we're going to go to the local level because you have three jurisdictions in our country, right? You have the local district, which is usually the city or the county, depending on what state you're in. That's the local government. Then you have the state government, which is the head of the state. And then you have the federal government, which is the government of the United States of America, which is in D.C. D.C. is not a state, it's a district. So that's the seat of the federal jurisdiction of the government. So you got three branches. Local, that's city. State, that's whatever state you live in. And then you have the federal government. Okay? I'm going to talk about the local government because people, especially ignorant people, love to say voting doesn't change anything. But guess what? It's only 20% of y'all that's voting. When I mean y'all, I mean y'all black people. I'm sick of y'all. I am sick of y'all talking about voting don't count, but you don't go vote. The numbers are out. Only 20% of you guys go to vote. That's why your vote don't mean nothing. And when you do go to vote, you vote uninformed and without any information. You vote because somebody's skin complexion looks like yours. You vote for somebody who promised you to give you something for free. When somebody try to promise you something for free, you should antenna should go up. When somebody promise you something for free, antennas should go up because nothing is free in America. Nothing, never has been. And you shouldn't want nothing free. Dummy. You shouldn't want nothing free. You should want to be free, but you shouldn't want anything for free. The freedom that we have in the United States, we didn't get that for free. My father fought for it. Some of you guys, fathers and grandfathers, fought for it. And that's why we're free. Let's get it, don't get it twisted. The reason we got freedom in the United States because we got the biggest damn gun. That's why. Our military is the greatest. Okay? Our military is the greatest in the world. So we're going to cut straight to the chaser. The reason why we got our freedom and the reason we're the best country in the world, not just because we got the biggest economy, is because we are safe. And the reason that we are safe and that safety gives us time to start inventing stuff, to start politicking, to start having the time to not looking out over your shoulder of another country bombing your ass. Our military protects us and gives us safety. So the reason you can get on the internet and complain about your own government is because the very same government you complain about, military, is very lethal and is strong. If our military wasn't like it was, we'll be just like Ukraine. Russia and China would have been attacked us and took over, and then you'll be under communist rule, dummy. So now that that's out the way, that that bag, that hat is out of the bag. Okay, now that is out the way. Okay, we're gonna go to the next subject. I'm gonna break it down to a GED because you guys are uneducated. You just been told what to do all your life. You never researched nothing. You never did any of anything. So, have you ever been on a highway and you drive and it says city of whatever, incorporated in 1815 or 1870 or 1865 or whatever it says? Every station, it was incorporated a certain date. It has a charter and everything. Okay? Every city. So let me get something into your minds that you don't know. Again, every city in the United States is an incorporation, meaning it's a business. In every city, you have the CEO of the business. CEO is Chief Executive Officer. Okay? The CEO is the mayor. So when you vote for mayor, you are voting for the chief executive officer that runs the business of the city that you live in. You, as taxpayers, that money pays his salary. It pays the police salaries. It pays his Congress, which is in some cities they call them the aldermans or the city council. That's the local so-called Congress. Okay? So that's your little basic history of how a city is. The city has a chief executive officer, and the city is a corporation itself. That's why it's a corporate. It says, right when you ride into the city, when you ride to any city, it says city limits, incorporated in 1865 or 1850, whatever year it was incorporated. Okay? So now, when you go to vote, dummy, why don't you vote for a mayor that at least ran a business before? Because the city is a business, it's incorporated. You don't go vote for a mayor because he's black or because he's Spanish or because he's white. You say, okay, let me see, or because he's Democrat or because he's a Republican. No, you're going to look at his background. What kind of businesses has he ran? Would you go, would you, if you had a business and you needed a CEO, would you hire a fucking third grade teacher? No. Why? Because he never ran a business. Okay? So why would you vote for a mayor that never ran a business? And you giving him control over your money to run the city that you're paying taxes into every day. Okay? So this is why local voting counts. Why vote for a mayor who never ran a business? That's why most of these cities that's dominated by inner city dummies, ran by Democrats, guess what? Their cities are in debt, meaning they owe more money than they got coming in. They don't have a surplus in the city because you voted for somebody or you didn't care about somebody, so you didn't vote for somebody who never ran a business. Okay? So that's the city. So now within that city, within the state is over the city. So that's another government. The head of the state, the chief executive officer, is the governor. So when you vote for your local governors at the state level, he's still a chief executive officer. You should know his background. Have he ever ran a business? If he have never ran a business, why would you vote for him? Dummy. I got a GED and I know this, but I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you because I didn't get pushed along. I didn't get caught in the Leave No Child Behind program that Bush 2 put into effect and Obama extended it. That's why I got a bunch of people that can be persuaded by a fucking rapper or entertainer to vote for somebody. That's why. Because they don't have any education whatsoever in regards to civics. These politicians are pushing rappers and entertainers to get you to vote for them because they know you stupid. When you should be looking up the background of these people to see if they ever ran a business before. A mayor, again, is a chief executive officer. That's what that means. He's the CEO of that business, which is the city. The word government literally means business. Look it up, dummy. You have a phone in your hand. A government means business, dummy. So if you never ran a business, you shouldn't be voted in to do no government business at all. So we're going to go to the state. Again, every state got its own Congress. Some states call it General Assembly. They got representatives of the state, and then they got the Senate of the state. They make up the Congress, the laws of the state. But I'm trying to get you to show you that the governor is the chief executive officer of your state. Again, he should have some background in business. Why vote for him if he doesn't have any background in business? Because now you get state taxes. You're paying him. You pay his paycheck. Why would you hire somebody? When you vote for somebody, you're hiring him for that position with your money that you complain about. The money they take out your taxes every week goes to his paycheck. But you won't even research to find out if he ever ran a business. Because the state government is a business. Dummy. The state government is a business. And guess what? Just like the city is a corporation, every state is a corporation. Go look it up. Go look it up, dummy. Google it, go on ChatGPT, go to Gemini. You got all this information, and it's no reason for you to be as ignorant as you are. It's no reason. Every state is also a corporation. Every state was incorporated in a certain date. They got the damn plaque right in front of the state right in front of the Capitol. Go to your capital, whatever state you in. It's a plaque that tells you what year it was incorporated in. That means it's a business. So if a business, now you have to look at it from a business perspective, right? So why would I vote for a governor, a CEO, who has no business experience? I would rather vote for a governor who has business experience that failed than one that has no business experience and never failed. Why? Because at least the one that failed, he know what not to do next time. So now you go to the federal level, which is Washington, D.C. The CEO of the United States government right now is Donald Trump. We all know he has plenty of business experience. That's why he's running the country like a business, because the United States is a business. Go look it up, dummy. That's why they call it corporate America. Because America, the United States of America, is a corporation. And it has a CEO. Right now it's Donald J. Trump. And there's no more, there's no one more qualified than him because we know all about his business failures and we know all about his business achievements. In business, stop thinking because somebody fell in business, that's a bad thing. No, it's a learning process, dummy. And if you would have took a GED instead of been in the No Child Left Behind program, you would understand that a failure in business is a lesson. It's like a little child when they fall, when they're almost 1 year old and they're trying to get to walk. They fall. Guess what they do? They get back up and they learn how to balance themselves till they become walking adults. See how easy that is? Because you don't have common sense, you think because a man had failed in business that that's a bad thing. No. When you fall, you learn how to walk better, dummy. Okay? So again, our Congress has a Senate and it has representatives. These people come from each one of the states and they make up the Congress. Okay? I'm concentrating on the executive branch right now. Why do you think they call it executive branch? Because the president is the chief executive officer. He is the CEO of the United States, which is a business. So when you say, oh, he's not supposed to run the United States like a business, that means you don't know civics, dummy. You don't know civics. It is a business. He's supposed to run like a business, dummy. That's what's wrong with you. You don't know nothing about civics. That's what's wrong with you. You did not learn anything in school because they had a program of No Child Left Behind by Bush II, which is one of the worst presidents in the history of our country. Obama is 1A. Obama is 1A of the worst presidents in United States history. And you voted for him twice. Not once, you voted for him twice. You know why? Because he was black. Look what that got you. Look what that got you. Because he was black, you voted for him twice. Okay? Look what that got you. That got you. Gays got more rights than you. LGBTQ community, yes. They're gay. That's what gay means. I don't care nothing about the titles. I don't care nothing about none of that. I'm 55 years old. I'm from 1970. I grew up when you beat up bullies. You don't let nobody bully you, punch it back in their face. You know what I'm saying? There's no gentle parenting. You discipline, you disrespect your child, you disrespect your parent, you get your ass whooped. That's my generation. So I'm not adopting to your new generation with all this gentle parenting. You don't spank your kids. No. We don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. But let's get back to the issue at hand. The second worst president in the history of the world is Obama, Barack Obama. Because he continued a program, he just remixed the name of it, of a No Child Left Behind program, which literally dumbed down our children. He dumbed down our children, meaning no matter what grade you got in high school, they just pushed you along, and still graduated. It's like giving a trophy to a person that lost. No, you need to learn how to lose. You need to, don't learn how to lose, but you need to experience losing. When you experience losing, you know how to win. A couple of weeks ago, the internet was on fire about Michael Epps. He was on I think he was on Jim Jones' podcast, Michael Epps, and he said that guys in prisons failed, and they shouldn't be celebrated when they get out of jail. And then, because he's a lame, not because he said that, because I totally agree with what he said. He said that a nigga that done 25, 30 years in prison, he failed. Fail, or the same word etymology would be fail, Fell. Even though they spelled differently, they come from the same root word, to fall. Okay? So when he said, why is you celebrating somebody coming home from prison? That nigga failed. He was right. But because you guys go pay to go see him on his show, he didn't want to lose no money, so he backed down. He went on Instagram and said, oh, I didn't mean that. I got homies in jail. He backed down. He backpedaled. You know why? Because he ain't free. He a slave. He's not free. Because when you free, you can say what you want. In America, you can really be free if you want to. But Mike Epps, he's not free. So that's why he had to backpedal and say, no, I didn't mean it like that. When in actuality, he should have stood 10 toes down. So I'm going to have to stand on 10 toes. So because he didn't stand 10 toes down on what he said, I'm going to stay 10 toes down. If a man comes home from prison, he should not be celebrated, because you know what? He did fail. He did fall. Anybody up here that talk to somebody from prison, guys in prison tell you when you go in there, they fail. Yo, I failed back in 95. Yo, I failed back in 2000. Niggas know they fail. So he's 100% correct, but he's not a free man. I am. The GED graduate is free. And I'm well off. And you can't censor me because you don't pay me. Because I'm free in one of the, no, not one of the best, the best country in the world. It's been the best country in the world for a long time. A long time. Why do you think they're trying to get over here? Why do you think all the foreigners trying to get over here if this country was so bad? Because you can say what you want. You can wake up with nothing and go to bed with something. Legally, you can get up with nothing and go to bed with something. That's what capitalism does. Capitalism gives you the right to go buy a bottle of water, or capitalism gives you the power to go buy a case of damn water for $3 and go sell each one of them for $1. Dummy. That's what capitalism is. Where you can go to a Harris Teeter, a Winn-Dixie, a Publix, a Stop and Shop, a ShopRite, a Sam's Club, or BJ's, or Costco's. You can go in there and buy a case of water. I'm going to simplify this for you, because you guys don't have no information. You was passed along in school, so you didn't learn anything. So the GED graduate got to put you up on game. Capitalism is essentially gives you the right to go into Costco, BJ's, or Sand Club and buy a case of water. This says only 24 waters. You can buy a case of 24 waters for $3 or $5. But you could take that same case of water and go to the next corner and put some ice on it and sell them for $1 a piece. That's what capitalism is. That's what capitalism is. If somebody told you otherwise, they didn't know what the hell they was talking about. And you listen to a dummy. Listen to the GED graduate. I got the game. I got the keys. I got the keys. I got the keys. I got the real keys. I got the real keys. Okay? So now let's get back to, like I said, your local government, your state government, and your federal government. Anybody that says voting doesn't matter, you need to run the opposite direction from them. I don't care if it's your entertainers. I don't care if it's your NBA players. I don't care if it's your NFL players. I don't care if they're baseball players. I don't care if it's another YouTuber. I don't care who it is. Anybody that tell you voting doesn't matter, you need to stop following them, because that's the wrong person to follow. Stop following their words. Stop following their words, because understand that voting is what got you in the position you're in today, or lack of voting. But not only vote, know how to vote. Okay? So let me see. I've been up here 26 minutes. I'm gonna do another 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna get back with you guys probably tonight on another live. But listen. Voting matters. Vote. Everything you complaining about matters. Everything you complaining about is because you didn't vote. You didn't vote locally. If you live in a city, and if you don't have a businessman as a mayor, if you live in a city, especially one of these overcrowded Democratic cities, most of them are in a deficit. Most of them are in a budget deficit because they don't have former businessmen running them. The mayors of these cities are the mayors in these cities will pick most of these mayors. And let's be honest. Go look at all of your major cities. Your Chicago's, your Detroit's, Detroit has got a new mayor. They just got one, but they're doing good. But your LA, your Houston, your Philadelphia's, your Baltimore's. Go to all your major Democratic cities. To your mayors. 90% of them are black, for one. And number two, they're in debt. They're millions of dollars in debt because people voted them in because they were black. They have homelessness everywhere in these cities, besides Detroit. Chicago, LA, Colorado, you know, all these places, man. Houston, like I said, you got your Philadelphia's, all these cities, man. Memphis, all the DC, New York City, all of these mayors, I guarantee you go do the research, none of them had any business before this. They didn't run no business. They were solely picked because they was either Democrat, they was either black. That's why they was picked. They was either Democrat or black. And you voted them in on those two things. That shows you how ignorant and dumb you are. And those cities are in a budget deficit. They owe lots of money. And they're being exposed now by the real businessman that's a CEO in DC, Donald Trump. They're being exposed. They're being exposed. They're being exposed. Stop voting for people because the complexion of their skin. It's always the system, the system, the system, the system. What system are you talking about? What system are you talking about? Tell me the system, please. Put in the chat. Send me a DM. I don't care. Tell me what system you're talking about. Then you got your white liberal woman. You got them out here talking about this system. White liberal women are the worst things for America right now. I'm telling you. White liberal women are the not all white women, not conservative white women. White liberal women. You know what I'm talking about. The green, purple hair, bull nose earring. Bull nose earring in the nose, the purple and green hair, the tattoos on his shoulders, and driving a Subaru. That white liberal woman, they are the worst thing for America right now. They are the worst thing for America. And you guys are following them. I like Karens myself. I like Karens. Yeah. I want Karens to be checking out the neighborhood to make sure ain't nothing goofy going around. I like Karens. Make sure ain't nothing goofy going around the neighborhood. Yeah. Be alert. Be alert because there's a lot of goofies out here. So the worst thing that's happening to America, and you have men following this stuff, is the white liberal woman with the green and purple hair, pajamas, bull ring, rainbow flag, driving a Subaru. They are the most evilest people in America right now. They are the most hateful people in America. They hate this country. They hate this country. I wish we could deport them. See you guys tonight.